The first way is the way everyone on YouTube does it and everyone on YouTube teaches you. And the second way is actually the correct way. Hello everyone, that was the introduction to my video on how to make the waistcoat stitch worked flat or worked in the row correctly, which I posted about a year and a half ago. In the comments to that video, I got requests to refilm it because the quality wasn't that great. And I agree, the lighting is poor and the stitches are hard to see. So finally, it is time to show and explain the concept of the waistcoat stitch worked flat or in the row in a new, different light. Pun intended. First, I want to take back what I said in that video. When done correctly, this stitch looks exactly as if it was knitted, not crocheted. Correction here. When done correctly, the waistcoat stitch looks similar to the knitted stockinette stitch. It does not look exactly the same. There is a specific unique way of how stitches are made with knitting, and there is a different specific unique way of how stitches are made with crochet, and those are different, they are not the same. So while we can have fabrics that look somewhat similar, the fabric done with knitting and another one done with crochet, they never will look exactly the same. The whole idea of the waistcoat stitch is that it looks similar to the knitted stockinette stitch. However, it does not look exactly the same and it does not behave as the stockinette stitch. In fact, it does not have that soft, stretchy texture that the knitted stitch does. But overall, visually, it does look similar. However, there is a twist to it. You need to know exactly where to place your crochet stitches, your single crochets, where to insert the hook. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. But pay attention, because, like I said in the beginning of the video, everybody else on YouTube does it wrong. So this is the knitted stockinette stitch. This is what it looks like. And this is the look we are trying to achieve in crochet with the waistcoat stitch. Now this is how everyone on YouTube does it. And this is how it looks when it is done correctly. So notice the difference here, here, and here. The original stockinette stitch looks like rows or columns of these V-looking stitches. And that is what is made here as well. However, you can clearly see that the stitches are not aligned one on top of the other the way they are over here, but they are kind of jumping all over the place. Now, if you place the stitches correctly, this is what it's gonna look like. You can see that here the stitches are aligned one on top of the other. They are straight, not jumping all over the place as over here. To understand how to place the stitches correctly, first we need to examine and understand what the single crochet looks like on the back of it. So let's examine this one right here. To me, it looks like the Greek letter pi. It has a leg, another leg, and a hat. And then over here on the top, there are those two loops that are often referred to as the V on the top. So for this version of the stockinette stitch, what everyone does on YouTube, they teach you to insert the hook in between two legs of the stitch right here. Let me demonstrate it on this sample. They teach you to insert the hook in between these two legs and under the hat and under the V on the top, like this. And then like this. And you do get the stitches that look like the V over here. However, as I already mentioned, the problem is that they are not aligned. Now, to make this version of the waistcoat stitch, the version that I call the correct one, you need to insert the hook not between the two legs of the single crochet right here, but to the left of them. So here is the first leg, here is the second leg, and after that second leg, but under the hat and under the V on the top, like this. So leg, leg, hat, after the leg, under the hat, and under the V on the top. Here is my next single crochet, leg, leg, hat, after the second leg, under the hat, under the V on the top. That's where I insert the hook, draw up a loop, and make a single crochet. And that's basically how this version of the waistcoat stitch is done. Now, in the beginning of the row, this is the first single crochet, and you can clearly see that it's missing one leg. It has this second leg, but the first one, which is supposed to be over here, is not there. It's missing. That loop went up over here. So this looks like a single crochet with only one leg and a hat. So over here, you would insert the hook after that single leg, but still under the hat and under the V on the top. Like this. And then you just continue crocheting as I already demonstrated. Now, another tip that I would like to give you here when working this stitch is to use a hook that is significantly smaller in size than what is recommended for your yarn. And that's because you really need to poke into that space after the two legs and under the hat and under the V on the top. And it's easier to do it if you are working with a smaller size hook. However, try to keep your tension soft and kind of loose. You don't want to crochet too tight because the fabric that is created by this stitch is already quite dense. It doesn't have much stretch. But if you work it tightly, it's going to be difficult to insert the hook and the fabric itself is going to be super stiff. So there you have it. I hope it was easier to see the stitches in this video than in the original one. And yes, I know that the quality of my videos is lacking, but please keep in mind that I do share my crochet knowledge with you genuinely and sincerely, with the hope that it will be useful and helpful to somebody on the other side of the screen. Thank you for watching, and until the next time.